Hello, welcome to this video. In this video we will learn about chaining method in Python. As you can see here, we have already instantiated an object with a class of dog, and also we have here is a statement that chain the bark method and the it method. So as you can see that and if we run the run modules, you can say that it will return the bark and bark exclamation string and snarf exclamation string. So because the fluffy.bark is print out the bark exclamation string and then return self, and then it it method is printing a snarf exclamation mark and return a self. So the main ingredient is this statement return self. If you don't have return self, then the the Python will not, after the Python crop this command execute, it will not return an object, and then the Python will not recognize that object belong to what class. And because of that, because Python don't know that object belong to what class, the Python did not know that the method that class have, and then after that, because of that, the Python did not know that that class have a it method. So the main ingredient is return self keyword here. If you want to, the method of a class can be chained together, you need to put a return self keyword each of them in the very last of the statement. So let's see that if you want to, so let's see that if for instance we just forget the return self here, and then just click run, and you see that there is a attribute error that non-type object has no attribute here. It means that fluffy bark, because the bark method is the return type, the return object is the return self is not. If we erase in the bark method, then it will generate an error of the object non-type object has no attribute it. Then you see that the error is in here, because the way that this is executed is like this. First, Python is crop the command, the chained command. In a chained method, Python will crop object and dot the method. So it will crop this statement first and then execute. Then if we we know that fluffy is a dog class object, so then the Python will search the class dog and search for the bark method that you want it to be executed, and then execute what the job is in bark method. And first it will print bark and then do nothing, because return self keyword statement here is erased. So because the bark method is not return self, then the Python will return fluffy not object like this. And and then after that Python will continue the process of the chaining method, and then will crop the next dot something of the statement, in this case fluffy not object dot it. Then fluffy not object, if this fluffy not object not another object that already defined before or declared before in what class that this object belong, then Python will not recognize that this object is belong what to class. Because of that, the Python did not know that that object have it method. So in this case, because of that, the Python will generate an error, because the error is object has no attribute it. It means that because the first method is fluffy.bark is not return itself, and then the next chained method will affect the next chained method, in this case is it, because the first method, the fluffy.bark will not return self, then the Python will not return the object that it is supposed to invoke. So the Python will not know that this object belong to what class, and then did not know that object will have a add it method, because Python didn't know the what class that object belong. Python don't know that that class have all these methods eventually. So that's the point, the importance of the return self keyword. So if you put back the return self keyword or statement, I mean, and so now let's okay, so now let's we want to print the return. So you will say that which what if we don't have return self, and what if we have return self statement. So we have first we want to have the first we define the return self on bark statement and print out the type of the fluffy.bark output. So like this. And now let's now let we run, click run, and then run module, and then see that the class is mine.doc. I mean that the class of that it would also have the bark exclamation string and the doc class object. So the fluffy.bark commands will return an object that have class the doc. That's why the next command chain together with fluffy.bark will have the Python will have information with class that we need to search. The Python need to search. If we want, for instance, we want to have a it here, then because the fluffy.bark return a class name, then the it, and it will like this, and will, for instance, like the dog, and I mean, so let's see, fluffy like this, and the Python know that this is the belong to the class, and then Python will search the dog class definition, and will search, and eventually will find the it method that will be executed next. So that's the importance of the return self. With if you have the return self, it will generate an object. So what if we don't have the return self statement in this definition, and we say that fluffy.bark here, and so let's see that we can run, and now we run and see that there's a bark exclamation string here output, and the class is non-type. So that's the difference between between the return self and non-return self statement. A method that have return self command, and the method that do not have return self. The method that do not have return self will return a class non-type, and the method that have the return self statement will have the mine.doc doc information here to be and then Python will use that information to search the next chain method. So that's the importance of return self, then it's not return self. So next we want to say that even that you somehow forget to put return self in one of the method, it will generate still succeed to generate the output. So for instance, it don't have a return self statement in the very last of this statement, so we want to change the bark and it method. So first bark method will evoke, and then next is it method invoked. So like this. This will work because so let's click run and see that the ideal will be return a bark string, bark exclamation string, and snarf exclamation string. Even that return self keywords or statement in the it method, it is the last method is not is wiped out or erased, because the fluffy.bark Python will This is how the script will crop this statement first, object dot something, and then we'll return the fluffy like this, and then the next, and return fluffy object, and the next, the Python will next crop another object dot method like this, and then execute, and then Python know that this fluffy is belong to this dog class because they already declared before here fluffy equals to dog class here. This is the very first statement before you can change a method or call a method, one of method and of this object. And after that, fluffy will find the it and print snuff, even that it don't return self. So it will finally will succeed to print bark and print snuff. But if you on the first bark you don't have return, in the first method you don't have return self, and the next method will be failed. So for instance, if you have a bark method here and it method here, this is will not working because in the when they're executing the bark method there is no so for instance, we don't have a return self here and we have return self here, the bark method will not don't have a return self. It means the next command here will not succeed. So if for instance the next method is the next method will not succeed. So for instance, we want to bark again, the method we want to it again and it again. This is will not working. The three which after the there's no return self command will not working. So if the bark is if not returning a self keyword, then the next after that methods will be failed. So if we have this return self method here, return self command, return self, and then here we don't have a return self, and then we just comment out, and then we run, it will fail on the it, on the bark and it, and the last two. So this is bark, so the bark fail is here, not here, because the last two, the method that have return self statement is it, and that means that the other method after that method that don't have return self will be failed. This means start from bark method and then after and so on and so on. So that's why this has no attribute bark. So this bark is no the object. This bark method is not recognized by Python that belong to that object. That's why you need to put a return self. And after that, let's see our last example is my present class. This present class is have a init constructor or def method constructor method, and have sayHello method and have sayName method. The both of sayHello and sayName have a return self keyword statement, but the constructor is not have a constructor, does not have a return self, and it is working. So let's try to define instantiate an object. So let's click run and run module again, and there's no error. You finally success to instantiate an object. This is the mandatory step on every object-oriented programming. You need to instantiate an object to a class. So after that, you can invoke or conduct any method. So let's try to invoke the sayHello and sayName method. And then click run. You see that there is no error. Then the the program return an string hello comma word, and then my name is John. Those two string is coming from the job of the say hello, print hello word, and then say name method that print my name is John in this case, because we already defined the name parameter argument and age in the constructor as John and 23. So that's how you can change the method. You know that we need to the main ingredient, we need to put the return self on the method that we want to change together. And that's all. Hope you like the video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Thank you.